welcome back. Big Paul's Trucking. Hey, well, we're back in the shop. As you guys can see outside, it's still snowing. My outdoor activities are running the plow truck, keeping the driveway open. But for now, we're working in the shop. And of course, I'm always waiting on parts as parts arrive. Big Green's kind of sitting here. I'm waiting for a leveling valve. I'm waiting for that adjustable arm that you put. I got to mount the valve. I got to get the valve to hold the truck at ride height. And right now, I think it's pretty close to being at ride height. I've been measuring my other truck aired up, this truck aired up. And the only thing I can't factor right now is I don't have, an engine and a transmission in this truck. So that is going to affect the ride height some. But I know when I put the engine in, the front end's going to go down a little bit. I can't imagine more than an inch. I mean, it's the front suspension is designed to hold an engine, so it'll be fine. So we're going to guess a little bit in the back, but I can't believe it's going to make it that much, of a difference, up or down an inch either way. I think it's more important that it's aired up and it's being supported correctly, how it's going to be supported. And then he can align it, and I'm not going to worry about it from that point. So anyways, I want to show you guys what I am doing. The time has come. I have the front springs. I have all the pins. I want you to check these out. Boy, look at how out of alignment those pins are, or those springs are. All that stuff sticking out in the bottom. Look at this. This problem's been around. Somebody used a piece of all thread bent around there to try to keep those springs in alignment. Or who knows, they were probably afraid they were going to kick out, hit the oil pan. But we have all the parts. We got new shock absorbers for right there. And we're going to block this truck up and start the process. And change it out. I'll probably get it removed today, and then I got to have my son help me put the new one in. So anyways, guys, I wanted to bring you up to speed and show you what we're going to be doing this episode. But that's where we're at. I'm waiting for parts for this, for that. And you can only build it as fast as you can get the parts here, the right parts. Oh, Paul's truck, we're going to be driving 3 hours each way to go pick up some brake drums. We did find that some guy is nice enough to not give us, but give us a really good deal on from the Facebook 9670, group. So the guy piped right up, said he had them, so we were pretty happy about that. But anyways, so we got to go. Probably going to go get that this week because my son's out, not in college until I think the week after, and so we're going to get that done this week, no matter how bad the weather is. I've been scraping the grease off this fifth wheel, and oh yeah, we got all kinds. The four-wheeler broke. My kid broke that. I got to fix that. The pressure washers broke, so I got them in the shop. Taking up space, but I can't work on them if they're not in here. So, all right, you guys, I'm going to get me some blocks and my jacks, and then I'll take you underneath and show you what we're going to do. Now, how this works, there's actually a bolt going in from the bottom. You can see it right there, and that holds that front pin in place. Once you take that bolt out, you can slide the pin out. But the first step, we're going to block it up, jack it up a little bit, to where the weight's off the spring, and then we're going to torch the U-bolts, which will then take all the weight off the, the spring. Even it won't be connected to the axle anymore. And then we'll pull that pin. First, we'll disassemble the back here. I don't know if you guys see that, but you got to take those bolts out. The bolts right here. Take those out, and then these shackles slide off both sides, and then pretty much it's free. And this pin, you actually change this pin on the top and the bottom, but you do that after you have it all out. Spring will be out of the way when I change that pin, and then it'll be ready for the new shackles and the new pins. So, and the new spring. All right, well, let me get set up. All right, you guys, here we are. I'm going to get under the truck. I want to show you guys something. When you do this job, you actually jack the truck up here on this front cross member, because there's no way you can jack up, obviously, where the spring is or the axle. That won't do anything. You jack up right here for this front cross member. And the way I was taught to do it is you always use your blocks and block it up, and then you do the jack at the end. So let's set this up. Hopefully you guys can see something. And we're gonna do that. Get it jacked up a little bit. Let's see if we're tall enough, we got enough blocks, all that stuff. Don't go till you try. All right. Put them like that. And then spread them out a little bit. And then just like this. I don't know if we're tall enough. We might be. I don't think we're tall enough. Let's run this up, see. I might have to get a couple 2x4s. Lay them on top of that. Yeah, that's about all we got. Oh, actually, that rolls right out of there. Usually they got a stop on it. Huh. Well, I think that's probably high enough. So if we had a 2x4, we'd have. Oh, there's another one. Let's see what we can do here. Oh boy. The struggle's real. All right. Go like this. Right there. You gotta look at it, get it all square. Oh yeah. There we go. Looks good. All right. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go back just a little bit. That'd probably do it though. Right there. Okay. We're not really jacking it up very high, you guys. We're just really just enough to take the pressure off the spring, and just so we can get it out of there. Once we put the new one in, it'll be supporting the truck. But don't forget there's a 3,000-pound engine above this, so definitely you got some weight. But we are only supporting half of it also. One side. There we go. That's pretty good right there. I think I might take that front wheel off too. I don't know. I think that's how I used to do it in the past. But I'm not sure I actually need to, but I think it's just going to be in the way. We're getting there. Starting to arch down. Yeah, that's great. I need to get it to where the tire's almost off the ground, but let me think about that. Well, actually, that's not true because the axle is going to be staying on the ground. once I cut the U-bolts. So it doesn't need to be off the ground. It just needs the tension to be off the spring. I wonder if I can knock that spring. I was trying to hit this other spring because they're so kicked out of line. But with the weight on it, you can't move it. Yeah, right. Not easily. I think the only remedy for that is going to be cut the U-bolts and get it out of the way. All right, let's do it. We got this bolt here that holds the front pin in place. I already had that bolt come I already took that bolt out once just to make sure I didn't have to extract it. You guys see how it's got a point on the end? That's what sits in a little hole in that pin. And I'll Loctite that back together when I put it all back in. But that's a pretty important little bolt. All right, that's good there. That's good there. Okay, gotta be most of the weight. That tire looks like it's not far from coming off the ground. Okay. All right. Now we got to torch the U-bolts off, and then it'll all kind of relax where it wants to go. But it's just that easy. Let me get my torches. All right, you guys, I want you to see where we're at. I pulled the brake drum because I needed to lower the axle down a little bit more from where I was. But now, as you can see, I started to drive that pin out. Front pin's coming out, no problem. I got that pin out. Now the axle slid back a little bit, so it's sitting on the axle. I got to disassemble these rear shackles. So nut and bolt right there, nut and bolt right there. Two more on the inside. And then the springs would be ready to pull out of here. I'm going to set a camera up when we do that. Then we got to do some scraping grease and cleaning up. But we're getting there. Thanks for watching. This we're going to be just pulling those brake shoes off, cleaning it up. We're going to wire wheel the inside of the drum. And probably put some paint on all this after we scrape it real good and get it ready to go. Can't wait to get that spring out of there. And I'll tell you, I am glad that pin came out. I hardly had to beat on it. It started moving. So that's fantastic. All right. Thanks for watching. Hey, guys. Welcome back. Well, it's Big Paul. We're just about ready to pull this spring, and I want to show you we have found a few items that were really bad. But let me show you this. Check this out. Now, amazingly, this front pin's coming out smooth as silk, no problem, which is amazing with the condition of these springs. But I wanted you guys to see this. This rear, look at the eye of the spring is broken off. Look at this, you guys. Can you believe that? That's bad. So needless to say, these springs were scrap. Just scrap holding the front of the truck up. That's what they were. But we're going to set up a time lapse and get these out of here. I got the new one brought in, sitting right here, ready to go. But we got to wrestle that in, and it's no fun. So we'll let you watch on time lapse. Thanks for watching. Move it back. There you go. A little more. Whoa! Now watch your hands.
Hold on. Watch your ear.
You gotta come back by me a little bit. Alright. Let's try rolling it. Roll this thing over. We're kind of hitting the bolts, the U-bolts in the back. See what I'm saying?
Can we go towards you a little more?
Not really.
No?
A little bit. Go pick up. You gotta pick up down here.
Pick it up.
Thread that post out of there. Maybe it'll come out and is it in the way? Maybe it won't come out real easy. I figured it'd be alright. Alright, let's try to roll a little bit. Slide it this way. Whoa, there we go, there we go. And now it's gonna, you see this bar? It's gotta come out my way.
Okay.
Hold on. Watch your fingers. Watch your fingers. Okay.
Holds itself on the pin on the drag line.
Let's see. Okay.
There it
Get
is.
that. Move it over here out the way. Whew.
There it is.
Isn't that fun?
Oh yeah.
There you go. Okay. Hey everybody, welcome back. Big Paul's Trucking. Well, it's another day. A lot of work doing these front springs in this truck. You can see we've been making progress. And I wanted to show you guys what we got done. Now, you've seen the old spring. Bad shape. Still can't believe that the back of the spring was cracked and busted off like it was. That's pretty incredible, that diagonal crack right there. Anyways, junk. We got the new one in. It's looking pretty good. Front pins in. Got to put the grease fittings in still. I haven't done that. And got the new U-bolts. Got everything cleaned up. Got them just snugged up right now. I put my new shock absorber in. That needs to be tightened up. Put the rear shackles together. Still got to put the grease fittings in. But it's coming together nice. Now, you see these nice heavy-duty straps? That's what holds your spring in alignment. And you got to have them or they'll kick out, go wherever they want to go. Now, I don't understand why those springs, they must have had those real light, like sheet metal straps, because if you look down there, there's no rivet. And the new one's got a rivet in the bottom of the bottom leaf, which keeps those straps in place. And if you look at them are like, 1/4-inch steel. They're not light duty. So I'm sure we're not going to have any future problems with these springs. But all right, well, what we're going to do next, guys, is I'm going to take my needle scaler and clean all this off this front assembly. I'm probably not going to take the brake pads off. They seem to work fine. They move fine. They function fine. Drum seems fine. So just going to give this a little cleanup. Put a little paint on it maybe. I've been kind of waiting to do this section because I didn't have, access to it yet. But now I do, and I'm not in a hurry. The spring is basically installed. And we're going to do the same thing to the other side. So when we get to that point. But for now, we're going to do a little cleanup, put the drum back on. I'll put the wheel back on then, and tighten everything up, for the shock and the U-bolts. But I'm actually not going to drive the U-bolts home super tight right now because I want it to be able to move a little bit when I do the other side, because you do the other side, you got to kind of drop the axle down and up a few times to line up your center pin with the hole in the axle. As you can see, I have my 2 chain binders. I saved you guys from having to watch it, but I had that axle chain bindered forward to get it in the right place, and then I had to go side to side in the back here around the leaf spring to the other side, and then drag the spring over so it dropped down in the hole in the axle. There's no easy way to do it. Whenever you take them out, they get all out of whack. So, but it's in the hole now, and it's actually tightened up, and it's sitting down all the way. Real nice. So it just needs some final torquing up.
Here, you guys, we are going to do a little needle scaling and wire wheeling. And I forgot to turn on my microphone, so you don't have to listen to me talk. Enjoy the music.
Hey guys, Big Paul's trucking. Back at you. Well, hey, it's starting to get dark outside, as you can see. I've been in the shop all day working on these front springs. I about got this job wrapped up. I'm actually super happy how this is turning out. Let me show you guys where we're at. So, hopefully you guys can see. I cleaned everything up, put a little coat of paint on everything. Even a coat of paint on that new spring. We got the new shackles, new grease fittings, the new U-bolts. Let me just give this a little clean up. Wire wheel. So it's looking a million times better than it did. We put the grease fitting in the front pin. We actually greased everything. Kingpins. Spring, both ends of the spring in there. You know, they all take grease. Of course they do. And we're just about ready to put the wheel back on. But until I do that, I'm going to hold off doing that for a day or two, because now it's time to put the inner fender on, the new bracket, and then put both the steps on. So that bracket right there is also for the the inside of the inner fender. And I do got a fashion. There's a couple parts, you guys. Look at that old spring. Look at that. I took all that apart, you guys, and that eye broke right off. I had to put it in the vise and get, well, actually, I had to get the grease fitting out of it. And I reused a couple, but I ended up ordering new ones. But if you see this, there's this K bracket. It's kind of what I call that in this fender. Well, you cannot buy that part anymore. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get me a piece of angle iron to go across here, bolt it in. Then I'm going to get me some smaller angle iron that'll come up here and just put a little bend on it right up here, put a little bend on the end so it lays flat. Then I'll weld this to this and make one for here, this to this. Same thing, a little bend on the end right there. But I'm going to make that, it's going to be 3 pieces of metal, weld it together, and then the bottom there's a little angle bracket that I have, but we're going to put it together. It's going to be sturdy. It's tied into the step, both the top and the bottom step. The way it's designed, it's got a bracket that carries it from here down to the bottom step, and so a lot of it hangs off of that bracket, though. You'd be amazed. But that's why I had to get it and get it new, and the new battery box. Well, I'll tell you, all that really looks so good. Straps all cleaned up, the air tank. Anyways, but we're getting there, you guys. I need to get this truck done so I can, by the end of the week, I'm supposed to be getting some more parts. The leveling valve and the connecting rod, so we can get going on Big Green. Anyways, guys, hey. Well, I want to thank you guys for watching. I know it's really hard to record a lot of this because, when you're laying under the truck and pushing and pulling, you guys should have seen me trying to get that spring to sit down in the axle. I should have had a camera going, but by the time you have 2 chains and 2 chain binders pulling on the spring, one on the axle, one on the spring, to manipulate it where you want it, it's, a lot going on. And then when it fell into the axle, it sounded like a gun went off. Bang! Because I had the jacked up, putting pressure on it. But I only know how to do it one way, and luckily that way got the job done. So we're going to keep at it, get the black truck, at least this side, done so it can be moved out of here. Then this green truck, like I think I told you guys, will be ready to go to the alignment shop. The only thing I'm waiting on is that leveling valve and the connecting rod. I got to mount it to the frame. That's going to take me an hour. And hook a line up to this air tank, and it will level out at the correct ride height that I've predetermined. So right about now where it's at is actually going to be pretty close to ride heights. These Peterbilt, it might be a little higher, but these Peterbilt back end, they ride pretty low, pretty soft. And then, you put weight on them, they pump back up just like all air rides do. All right, you guys, one more thing I did want to show you. I do have these bags now all plumbed together, and they are now aired up, as you can see. And that's how I'm working with and playing with. There's my valve till I get the new leveling valve, and that's where I'm gonna tee it into the circuit. So once I get the valve and the stick, I'm actually going to be mounting it right back here, and then the arm will come over, and we're going to go down, and we're going to kind of go to this bracket right here behind like the shock absorber, but it won't be in the way of each other. I'd sure like to have the shock absorbers here so I could see how much room I have to work with, but maybe they'll come before I mount that. As you can see here now, I got me a temporary air tank. Just one of them for airing up tires, but it's got a gauge, you fill it with a tire valve. And that's where I hook my air line up to it. And it's gonna come around here and supply the valve I'm gonna mount back there. So it'll be a whole system ready to air that tank up, and it'll maintain ride height wherever I want it for the alignment shop. And that's what they asked me to do. So, but after we get it back from that, we can take more serious getting the chassis painted, because I can't wire it or finish plumb till it's painted. Anyways, I wanted to show you guys that. Thanks for watching. Now's a great time to like and subscribe if you're getting anything from this content. Thanks. But anyways, we're at it. And I want to thank you guys for watching. This is going to be the end of this episode. So, anyways, thanks for watching. Big Paul's out!